What if I told you that a man who had 0 wins just 1 year ago is now being compared to the greatest NASCAR driver who ever lived? Not by fans, not by analysts, but by the cold, hard numbers themselves. This is not hype. This is history unfolding in real time, and if you blink, you might miss it. On Saturday, April 19th, at Kansas Speedway, Tyler Reddick strapped into his number 45 Toyota and laid down a qualifying lap of just 29.142 seconds, translating to over 185 miles per hour. It was his third pole position of the season and the 14th of his career. The man he edged out for that top spot was none other than his own boss, Denny Hamlin, by a razor-thin margin of just 0.019 seconds. Toyota did not stop there. The manufacturer swept the entire top 3 qualifying positions, with Reddick first, Hamlin second, and Bristol's previous week winner, Ty Gibbs, locking in third. Kyle Larson matched Gibbs on time but had to settle for fourth, and Chase Briscoe, also in a Toyota, grabbed fifth. That meant 4 Toyotas sitting in the top 5 before the race even began. Reddick credited his crew chief Billy Scott for the setup calls that made it possible, saying the whole team had been working hard and staying solid throughout the season. Sunday is where everything flipped upside down. From the moment the green flag dropped, Hamlin was aggressive. Reddick had started from pole, but his boss attacked immediately, and the two even made slight contact before Hamlin forced his way to the front. Once there, he refused to let go, leading 75 of the first 80 laps in Stage 1 in a display of sheer dominance. Meanwhile, Ryan Blaney's race was quietly falling apart behind him. Blaney had started 9th and was comfortably inside the top 10 when his car bumped A.J. Allmendinger, leaving his pit stall. Allmendinger spun, Blaney's front splitter was destroyed, and his team had to make multiple stops to assess and repair the damage. On top of that, NASCAR handed the team a penalty for too many crew members going over the wall. Through just the first 8 races of the season, Blaney had already lost 88 positions on pit road alone. His raw speed is not the issue. He is one of the fastest drivers in the field, but these pit road mistakes keep dragging him backward, and Sunday only made that story worse. Hamlin won Stage 1 without any real contest. Stage 2 brought a new face to the front when Kyle Larson cleared Hamlin on the restart and never looked back, leading 77 laps and claiming the stage. During that run, Larson quietly surpassed Kevin Harvick for the most all-time laps led at Kansas Speedway, a remarkable record that nearly got buried under everything else that unfolded that afternoon. Stage 3 brought genuine chaos. Christopher Bell led for a stretch, then Hamlin reclaimed the front with 43 laps remaining. It looked like a classic Hamlin performance, the kind of wire-to-wire dominance that reminds you why he is considered one of the greatest of his generation. But Reddick had fresher tires, and with 10 laps left, he powered past Hamlin in turn 1 and snatched the lead. Then disaster struck without warning. Reddick got on the radio in a panic, screaming that he was running out of fuel. At that exact same moment, he clipped the outside wall and lost the lead straight back to Hamlin. Team co-owner Michael Jordan, watching from the pit box, had both hands on his head. The white flag was seconds away from flying. The team came over the radio and told Reddick to switch to the backup fuel pump, a secondary system these NASCAR cars carry as a safety net, something most casual fans do not even know exists. Reddick made the switch mid-race. It worked, barely. Then came Cody Ware. Running 6 laps down in the number 51 Chevrolet, Ware spun out on lap 266, just before the white flag was set to fly. It was later revealed that a tire failure had caused the incident after his team had left him on old rubber. Had that caution flag come out even a few seconds later, after the white flag had already been shown, the race would have ended under yellow with Hamlin declared the winner. Instead, it sent the entire race into overtime. Hamlin was visibly furious afterward. The following day, Rick Ware Racing Competition Director Tommy Baldwin went on his own podcast and took complete responsibility, saying he was mentally exhausted and had lost focus at the critical moment, calling it a violation of one of the garage's most respected unwritten rules about not changing the outcome of a race through careless decisions. Everybody on the lead lap pitted under the caution. The leaders took 2 fresh right-side tires. Hamlin beat Reddick off pit road and lined up at the front for the restart, with Larson taking the inside lane directly behind him. When the green flag dropped, Larson launched hard off the bottom, going 3 wide below the apron and powered straight into the lead. Behind him, Bell, Reddick, and Hamlin were all battling aggressively for position at the exit of Turn 2. Bell got into the wall. Reddick was nearly pushed back to 5th place. Then the white flag came out. Reddick surged forward through the entire field, charging down the backstretch and pulling alongside Larson through the final turns. Coming to Turn 3, he drove clean past him. Reddick won by 0.118 seconds. Jordan was in victory lane for all of it, saying his driver was simply on fire and that there was nothing left to do but enjoy it. Bubba Wallace, who finished 5th in the other team car, said with a laugh that he was getting tired of watching his teammate pass him like he was sitting still on jack stands. Tyler Reddick is now only the 4th driver in the entire history of NASCAR's top series to win 5 of the first 9 races in a single season. The last driver to accomplish that was Dale Earnhardt in 1987, nearly 40 years ago. Reddick himself could barely believe it, calling Earnhardt a Mount Rushmore NASCAR figure and acknowledging that 1987 feels like generations ago. The statistical comparison between the two after 9 races is striking. Reddick in 2026 carries 5 wins, 6 top 5s, 7 top 10s, 3 poles, an average finish of 5th, and not a single DNF with a worst finish of only 15th. Earnhardt in 1987 had 6 wins, 8 top 5s, 8 top 10s, 1 pole, and led nearly half of all laps raced. Earnhardt was more dominant in raw lap leadership, commanding 1,624 laps compared to Reddick's 199, but the win totals are nearly identical, and the consistency Reddick is displaying is genuinely historic. Toyota has won 7 of the first 9 races this season, the most any manufacturer has won this early since Chevrolet in the year 2000. All 4 cars from the same team finished inside the top 5 at Kansas, something that organization had never achieved before. Reddick's points lead now stands at 105 over 2nd place, and that gap between 1st and 2nd is actually larger than the gap between 2nd place and every other driver behind it. 1 year ago, Tyler Reddick had 0 wins. 0. He came into 2026 saying his car was night and day compared to before, and now here is the fact that will genuinely stop you cold. Reddick has now won on a super speedway, an intermediate track, a road course, and a historic track. No single track type explains this. Kevin Harvick on Fox Sports said it plainly that Reddick is going to break the all-time record for most wins in the current generation car. The record sits at 6. Reddick already has 5. But here's the part nobody is talking about loudly enough. The last time a driver was compared to Dale Earnhardt at this stage of a season, that driver never came close to matching what Earnhardt had built. Reddick is not just matching it. By some measures, with 0 mechanical failures and 0 bad finishes through 9 races, his consistency is actually better. And Talladega is next, the one track where chaos is guaranteed and nobody is safe. The question is no longer whether Reddick can be stopped. The question is whether anyone in NASCAR history has ever looked this untouchable this early and survived the second half of the season to prove it was real.